Hello, my name is Juan Rivera. I'm the school librarian at A. Philip Randolph Campus High School, and today I'm going to show you how to own Shakespeare like a boss. And kind of what I've discovered, it's really fun to explore Shakespeare if you don't have to do it for school. But even if you have to do it for school, this is really helpful. So I want to show you some tools that are specific to New York City or that you can actually use nationally. Um, and reading Shakespeare is kind of like reading a foreign language, or it seems like a foreign language. But with these tools, uh, the plot of uh, the some of Shakespeare's plays will become really more obvious and a lot more fun to understand. So, if you'd like a fun little project during these uh, times when we're staying at home, I've been able to squeeze this in at the end of some evenings and just kind of expand my learning of something that I thought would be kind of like years away of understanding. So one of the cool tools that I want to show you is myshakespeare.com. I'm not really sure who puts out this website, but I'm really glad they did. And basically, and this, they have suggestions for how to use using my Shakespeare remotely, so you can go into that. But I've been using it more personally, and they only have six plays so far: My Romeo and Juliet, My Julius Shakespeare, My Macbeth, Hamlet, Taming of the Shrew, and A Midnight Summer's Dream. I started with Macbeth, and it's really cool. So I'm gonna just go. So it shows the features here: the modern English translation, audio, and scenes acted out. But I think it's better just to kind of show you with the first scene of the play and just a little bit. Um, and let's go to my Macbeth. I find that I can usually kind of go into one scene a night because it involves a little bit of work, but after you go through it, you'll feel like you really own a scene. So first, one of the first features that you'll see is that it has a read aloud option that follows along with the original text.
When shall we three meet again? In thunder, lightning, or in rain?
The other, and these things kind of come sequentially. The other thing that comes is a performance.
When shall we three meet again? In thunder, lightning, or in rain?
And what's nice is that this all kind of flows, and you can make some choices. You could um, click on this video, and it goes more into the words of if you're a word nerd, you can look at the different vocabularies. You can keep reading, and the balloon option allows you kind of like really to kind of see what you've just read. So I like that approach because instead of getting a summary first, you kind of jump into the words themselves as originally spoken. You see it in performance, and then you look at a summary, and by then things are a little bit clearer. The nice thing at the end is that there's interviews with the characters, and they'll often use the actual Shakespearean language, but mix it in with modern day language. And what's really fun is that it just kind of really extends your understanding of the play and the issues in the play, but it um, doesn't really feel like school. It feels like a real exploration of the play. So that by the time you read a scene, you really um, own that scene. So another thing that I want to show you is that what I've been doing is once I finish the scene, I'm also reading other adaptations of it that are kind of fun. So, for example, I'm reading Macbeth, Killing It. And this is a text version of uh, of the play. So it uses emojis and and shortens to the scenes. And what's really interesting is it's just kind of fun after having read and seen the performance in the actual Shakespearean language, you can just kind of really appreciate what the author. Let's see who the author is. Sorry about that. I should have gotten that at the beginning. The author is. I will find that later, but uh, you know, I just want to keep recording. Uh, but it's really kind of a fun version. The other thing that I have on my Libby app is a graphic novel version of the play. And what's interesting, it's kind of, I actually prefer the text version as far as it kind of being humorous. But I like looking at the decisions that, the graphic novelist made in kind of simplifying Macbeth. Uh, so, this is kind of like it's kind of like a backwards differentiation. When you think of differentiation, sometimes you start with something simple, then you move up in complexity, and you can do it that way too. You could read the text version and then the graphic novel version, and then go into the website. But I like doing it backwards because it just lets me really experience Shakespeare's words first, and then kind of work through the meaning, and so on. So uh, that's that. And so, once you work through all these different versions of it, one thing that I've been dipping to is actually watching Macbeth on Amazon Prime. And what I find is that, I can really kind of focus on the choices that the director of the film makes. And because I've done all this reading already, I kind of understand a lot more of what's going on, and it's not as confusing. I do like to put on the captions. It just makes it's easier to follow along. But this is just one small way that I'm taking this time to own Shakespeare. I thought this would be something that I would do in retirement, um, but I've been able to squeeze it into a few minutes a day. So try this at home. But oh, by the way, the reading, I kind of flipped up uh, my iPad on the screen, and that's a reading app called Libby, where you can read on your device. If you're the libraries that you belong to uh, subscribe to Libby, it's a great way interface of looking at different books or looking for different books. Uh, Libby, and I can look. I belong to the New York Public Library, the Queens Public Library, and the Brooklyn Public Library, and it's just a fun way to have more information and resources at your fingertip. So explore Libby, explore myshakespeare.com, and who knows, maybe you can own a little bit more of a corner of Shakespeare with all this extra time that we have. Okay, take care, stay well, and keep learning.